This week on Sports Night in Auburn, football traveled to Athens to play the number 5 ranked Dogs. A fourth down fiasco and an out-of-order fourth quarter cost them the game. We've got this Coach Freeze reaction and more to come. From the NCAA to big league play, from throwback uniforms in Denver and a Bo Nix masterclass to Jacksonville, Florida, where Tank Bigsby found the end zone and a number in the win column. Lastly, volleyball had an up-and-down week in SEC play, but managed to stay in the mix of the top 25. We've got the best mix of all things sports coming at you right now. This is Sports Night in Auburn.
Auburn, Alabama, the best atmosphere in all of college sports.
He drives, it's lit.
Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn.
Gone deep to the left.
Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn.
Sideline, going to the end zone.
Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn.
And welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn.
This past weekend more than likely took a nosedive for fans of the college football teams in the state of Alabama. 6 of the 8 Division I college football programs in the heart of Dixie went down in Week 6. The scoreboard may have ruined some weekends, but we are here to make it right. Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm your host, Vince Wolfram. One of those in-state teams that went down did so against a top 5 opponent. And for those fans who maybe don't know, well, Vanderbilt is actually not ranked in the top 5. Auburn, though, they traveled to Athens to battle Carson Beck and the Georgia Bulldogs, who entered their homecoming weekend game after falling to Alabama in a barn burner the week before. Auburn was trying to right the ship after back-to-back SEC losses, and they didn't back down. After an opening drive touchdown from Georgia, Peyton Thorne and the Tiger offense tried to find their mojo and showed signs of that, setting up Auburn for an early field goal. Auburn's defense has kept them in the majority of the games this season, and the same was true in Athens. Sophomore sensation Keldrick Falk spearheaded that attack, and mama, that's a bad. He wasn't done. Falk, bottom of your screen, hooking through the O-line and taking Carson Beck down. Auburn down 14-3 at half, and Jarquez Hunter did his best to get Auburn back in the mix. A 38-yard run here from 2-7 to the end zone, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. But playing with an angry dog is like dancing with danger, and Auburn couldn't keep up with the tango. Hugh Freeze's offense struggled with mishaps like this one on 4th and 1 and couldn't find an answer for the UGA offense in the last 12 minutes. Final from Georgia, Dogs 31, Tigers 13. After the game, Coach Freeze spoke about what happened on that momentum-shifting 4th and 1 mistake.
He absolutely didn't go with what we had called. You know, Peyton's a thinker, and he knows football, and he decided to try to run some type of zone read there, and I think everybody was a little confused, but we definitely weren't on the same page there, and I should have used one of our timeouts there when I saw things were going awry.
An interesting analysis about that play for Coach Freeze, and now Eagle Eye Encyclopedia Micah Farmer joins me to break this down. Micah, I don't want to break down the play itself because I think it's even deeper than just the play we saw on the field, and more so a nuanced level of trust from Freeze to Thorne to the O-line and beyond. What do you think the offense has to do as a whole going forward to just try to get on the same page?
Run the football. Back to you, Vince. But no, in seriousness, it is as simple as that for the Auburn offense. There's not enough of the ground game, especially when you have a back as good as Jarquez Hunter back there. This receiving room is great, but if the quarterbacks are going to consistently struggle to get them the ball, you can't keep just tucking it up there and hope for the best. So I would like to see more of the run game from Auburn. You even have more than one good back. Jeremiah Cobb is also very solid. Damari Alston, solid runner as well. Give these backs the football and let them work. Lucky
for them, they get a break. It's been a tough couple weeks, but Auburn has its bye week this week and will return to play on October 19th in a road test at number 3. Micah, thank you. One thing that always helps Auburn fans look past the tough loss are the wins lined up for the future, and last week Auburn scored one of those. 4-star quarterback Deuce Knight, who is ranked as the number 2 dual-threat passer in the class of 2025, flipped his commitment from Notre Dame to Auburn. And this for Hugh Freeze was a big get. The 6'5 Mississippi native finally swapped after speculation swirled his name after being spotted on the sidelines several times this season. Knight is the 5th highest-rated member of Auburn's 2025 class. From Auburn's 4-star recruits to Eagle Eye's 5-star weatherman, my friend Brett will join us after this break with the Fouts forecast here on Sports Night in Auburn.
Good evening. I'm your weatherman, Brett Fouts. Let's get into the weather forecast for Auburn sports this week. I know fall break is this week, and some students may have trips planned, but for those of you staying in Auburn over the break, there are some exciting matchups on campus to watch. We'll touch on football in 2 weeks real quick for anyone traveling to Columbia. Saturday is going to be a hot one in Columbia with a high of 88 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Winds are going to be low, so altogether it should be a great day for football. Coming back to Auburn now, let's take a look at a highly anticipated SEC matchup happening on Thursday, the Iron Bowl of Soccer. Kickoff for that game is scheduled for 6 o'clock, and with a high of 80 degrees on Thursday, should be a beautiful night. Neither clouds nor wind should be a factor for this game, though with fall creeping in, those temperatures could continue to drop throughout the night. Last but not least, Auburn softball opens their season this weekend with games on both Friday and Saturday at home. On Friday, the Tigers take on West Georgia at 6 o'clock at Jane B. Moore Field. The high for that day is going to be 77 degrees, and with a low of 49, this game might get a little chilly in the evening. On Saturday, the Tigers play Chipola College at 1 o'clock. High for that day is 79 degrees, so it should be a beautiful day to go watch Auburn softball. There's no chance of rain in Auburn this week, so for those of you sticking around through the break, it's a great opportunity to go support your Auburn Tigers. That's all the time I have for you today. We'll be back to Vince with a soccer update after this break.
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. In the studio with me now are Eagle Eyes Jaden Echols and Maddie Baughn. Jaden, I want to start with you. Last week was a one-match week for Auburn soccer as the team got put on through to send their love down to Baton Rouge. Road games are never easy, but the 16th-ranked Tigers were prepared to handle business.
Thanks, Vince. Auburn soccer stayed on brand this week by sweeping LSU 4-0 in their 11th sweep of the season. The first goal came only 15 minutes into the game from Olivia Woodson, her 8th on the year. The goal was generated off a beautiful rundown on the left side by the field by Carly Thatcher and an assist by Dylan Driver. Auburn's second goal came only 2 minutes later off of half volley from Mallory Mooney that was placed perfectly into the bottom left corner. At halftime, Auburn led 2-0, but that lead would only grow. 7 minutes into the second half, Carly Thatcher magged her defender and put the ball into the back of the net off an assist from Olivia Woodson. Then just 4 minutes later, defender L.J. Knox scored a backwards header that gave Auburn a 4-0 lead and the game's final score. Auburn soccer will be back in action this Thursday for the Iron Bowl as Auburn Soccer Complex hosts Alabama and celebrates Socktoberfest. Now to Maddie with some volleyball news.
Thanks, Jaden. Volleyball also had a busy weekend and started it out with a battle against the Georgia Bulldogs. Eagle Eye TV reporters Sophia Weber and Emma Stutser were at Neville Arena for this game, the Tigers 5. Let's check it out.
On Friday night in Neville Arena, the Lady Tigers take on the Georgia Bulldogs on their first game as a nationally ranked team. The Auburn fans continue to show out for the Lady Tigers to welcome the third SEC opponent of the year, who is known for their strong serving. They came out with leaders like Bella Bell swinging hard and not looking back to claim the first set 25-19. The Bulldogs refused to quit, however, they brought the bark in the second set. It was the defensive plays from several Lady Tigers that gave way for Madison Shear to have electric kills and reclaim the lead in the third set that went back and forth. With 8 blocks, the team remains the leaders of the SEC with an average of 2.97 blocks per set. The Auburn women's volleyball team isn't a stranger to a 4th set, and they know what they had to do. With the matchup on Sunday on the team's mind, they wanted to do everything in their power to put this match away in 4 sets. Freshman Lauren Dreef stepped up and was able to provide 2 crucial aces to keep the Tigers within striking distance. Despite late controversy on the last play, the Tigers were able to remain perfect in SEC play. The Auburn Lady Tigers cruised 13-1 in this season after dropping 1 set to the Georgia Bulldogs. From Eagle Eye TV, I'm Emma Stutser.
That was the game recap against Georgia from Sophia. Volleyball action for the weekend was not done, however. Sunday's opponent proved much more formidable. I was at Neville Arena on Sunday alongside Eagle Eye reporter Molly Miles to watch Auburn take Texas. Let's check it out. On Sunday, the number 24 Auburn Tigers faced Texas A&M for an SEC volleyball showdown with a 1,425 crowd in Neville Arena. Coming off of a 4-set win against Georgia on Friday, Auburn volleyball headed into today's match undefeated in the SEC It finished with both Chelsea McGurty reaching 500 career blocks and Belle Zimmerman hitting 500 career kills. Although the Tigers put up a fight, they added their first conference loss to the record with this Aggie upset. In the first set, the Tigers and Aggies set the tone for the next three with a neck-to-neck scoring race. Auburn was able to deliver 9 kills on 3 attack errors. However, this Tiger defense had to outwork the 20 kills from the Aggies. With Texas A&M taking the first set 25-20, Auburn seeked revenge in the second with a score of 25-18. The defense was led by McGurty, Bell, and Shear with a total of 11 blocks. The Lady Tigers were heading into the third set hopeful, but fell short to the Aggies by 4 points. With the pressure of the fourth set, Auburn was faced with several serving errors along with a strong Aggie offense that closed this match with Texas A&M on top. The Lady Tigers faced the Mississippi State Bulldogs in Starkville on October 13th. I'm Maddie with Eagle Eye TV. Multiple Auburn volleyball Tigers received honors over their 2 games this week. On Friday, Paige eclipsed 500 digs throughout her Auburn career in volleyball's battle against 500 seemed to be the lucky number. As on Sunday, Belle Zimmerman, 500 career graduate student Chelsea McGurty also achieved an Auburn career milestone during Sunday's game as she recorded her 200th block while following their 4-game stand. Auburn volleyball will finally hit the road and see how well they fare away from the best home crowd in the country. The Tigers will travel to Starkville on Sunday to face Mississippi State in their first SEC road game. Now here's Jaden with equestrian news.
3 Auburn equestrian Tigers were named SEC Riders of the Month. Juniors Caroline Buchanan and Caroline Fredenberg and sophomore Avery Glenn all won the award for their dominant performance in September over the then #1 TCU. Buchanan won the award for her performance in reining, while Fredenberg was awarded in horsemanship and Glenn on the flat. Buchanan, Fredenberg, Glenn, and the rest of the equestrian team look to keep their #1 spot in the NCEA rankings as they take on South Carolina this Friday in Blythewood. Back to you, Vince.
Jaden, Maddie, thank you both. Coming up from the course to the diamond, we'll see how Auburn baseball is getting ahead of the curve already before the season even begins. A trivia question to think about while you patiently wait for the best TV program in Auburn to return. What year did Auburn baseball have its highest ranked recruiting class? A, 1994, B, 2019, C, 1997, or D, 2024? We will be right back with the answer for Tonight in Auburn. It's October, which means it's the best time for baseball and baseball trivia. So here's the correct answer to the question, what year did Auburn baseball have its highest ranked recruiting class? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're living in it. 2024. According to Baseball America, the Tigers have the #3 ranked class in the nation. Head coach Butch Thompson signed 17 newcomers to play this fall, 11 pitchers and 6 position players. The new faces are from all over the country. 8 from Alabama, 3 from Florida and Georgia, and 1 from California, Mississippi, and Tennessee. 2 Alabama natives lead the class, both top 50 recruits, Connor Gatwood and Christian Chatterton. Class as a whole, 11 players ranked in the top 250. Moving right along, these baseball studs have returned to action. Jaden, you got more.
Auburn baseball is back, and the guys have officially started practice this week in preparation for their fall ball action they have this weekend. Head coach Butch Thompson talked with the media about his team ahead of the season. Let's check it out.
Just excited, so much going on in our program, and you can't ignore the momentum of players that have left our program that are playing at the highest level, our recruiting efforts, this facility, our fans. So Team 10, this is an exciting way to kick off our fall, and we're looking forward to the next 5 weeks to working hard and growing.
Even though it's just the fall, both baseball and softball are getting right back into the swing of things. Auburn softball opens up play at home against West Georgia Friday night, followed by hosting Chipola College on Sunday. Meanwhile, baseball will also play on Sunday in Pensacola, Florida, in an exhibition match against Florida State. Speaking on swing, let's send it over to Maddie for some golf news.
#1 ranked men's golf had a big week at the Ben Hogan Collegiate Invitational. Behind the stellar play of senior Madison Valdez and freshman Billy Davis, who finished the tournament in second and third place. During the 3-day tournament, Valdez shot 6 under with 14 birdies and even scoring the first ace of his career on hole 13 during round 2. Davis, meanwhile, finished 5 under par in just the second tournament of his career at 11 birdies and 1 eagle on his score. With his top, Valdez passed J.M. Butler and Jovan Rabula as the program's leader in career top 10 finishes. Valdez and Davis's stellar performance translated into some bling for the two golfers, as both were recognized as golfers of the week. Valdez earned outright golfer of the week, which is the third time ever in his career he has received that award. Davis, meanwhile, received SEC Freshman of the Week, the first award recognition of his young Auburn golf. Auburn golf does a lot of traveling to different cities throughout the year, but in some home, the Golf Tigers are set to host an NCAA region at Auburn University Club this year, the second time they've hosted in. The last time Auburn hosted region, the Golf Tigers finished in first place at that, a promising sign for Auburn golf this year. Here's Jaden with
Auburn women's golf finished out the Illini Women's Invitational today with sophomore Anna Davis capturing the individual tournament win, the second of her career. Davis shot 13 under and now holds the record for the lowest 54 hole in program history. Now here's Maddie with some tennis news.
Over the weekend, Auburn men's tennis finished competing at the SEC Big 12 Challenge in Waco. In total, Auburn's athletes tallied 7 singles wins and a couple of doubles victories, with the highlight for the Tigers freshman Alex Cavanagh, who posted a perfect 3-0 singles record and won 2 of 3 doubles matches in his collegiate. Cavanagh traveled to participate in Louisville ITF 25K later this week, while the remainder of the team will not be in an action until the ITA Southern Regional Tournament, which began on October 17th. That tournament will take place in Baton Rouge, home of this year. On the women's side, the Tigers competed at the Wahoo Invitational over the weekend and recorded an impressive 11 singles and 2 doubles. Graduate student Ava Brastar had a perfect weekend for the Tigers, going 3 for 3 in her season, while freshman Natalie Outcolt was also undefeated for singles match. Auburn women's golf will play at the next ITA Southern Regional Championship, where they are hosted, so be sure to go support your team. Now back over to Jaden with.
Last Friday, the Swim and Dive Tigers hosted their annual Orange and Blue meet, where the Tiger fans can come and watch the team before they begin competitive meets for the year. The first one of those meets is this weekend in Dallas, Texas, as the now number 16 men's and 17 women's teams compete in the SMU Invite. Those who aren't competing in the SMU Invite will travel to North Carolina instead to face off in the UNC Wilmington Invite on Saturday. Back to you, Vince.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jaden. Auburn basketball collaborated with Down Syndrome Alabama this weekend in the practice gym at Neville Arena. Head coach Bruce Pearl and Auburn men's and women's basketball players helped put on this 2-hour camp for campers 6th grade and older with Down syndrome. Campers were doing everything athletes do on the daily, going through drills, playing games, and that's the top, competing. A great event to bring the state of Alabama together through the game of basketball. We are about to head to break, but before we do, let's see if you know the answer to this trivia question, highlighting some football first year, getting it on in the spotlight. Which 2 freshmen were named true freshman mid-season All-American by 3? A. Caleb Harris and Malik Block. B. Amaris Williams and DeMarcus Riddick. C. Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson. Or D. Bryce Kane and Simmons. We'll have the answer when we come back here on Sports Night in Auburn. Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. Let's get straight to this trivia question. Which 2 freshmen were named true freshmen mid-season All-American by On3? You know, I'm going to guess that you picked letter C with Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson, but you're wrong. The correct answer is A, Caleb Harris and Malik Blockton. Harris, who has stepped in quickly at safety, jumped on his opportunity as soon as it came. With 17 tackles and 2 pass breakups, he's been a bright spot in the Auburn secondary. On the line, Blockton has 8 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a sack already on the year. Blockton was one of 6 edge recruits Hugh Freeze brought to Auburn, and he has been the only one to make a statistical impact so far. Magic Micah is back in the studio now. We're going to talk Hugh Freeze's first year. Through 6 weeks of the season, who is the newcomer that has stood out to you most, Micah?
Well, for me, it's going to be linebacker DeMarcus Riddick. Came in very highly touted out of high school, and you said that not many guys have made an impact. I would argue that Riddick has as well. 11 total tackles on the year, a sack as well. His athleticism has really been showing at that level of the defense, and I'm really excited to see where he can go.
From defense to offense, let's talk about the fresh wideouts for Auburn moving forward, especially the Freeze 4. Who is one guy that you think is just due for a breakout performance?
For me, it's Malcolm Simmons. This guy's been a spark plug all year long for the Auburn offense. Anytime he gets the ball, it feels like he's taking it a long way, and I look forward to seeing him do that the rest of this season. All of these receivers are great, but Simmons has been so good so far this year. He can really take it up a next notch, I think, if he's able to. But now from guys just getting started to guys who have been doing this for a while, let's go to Maddie with Auburn in the pros.
Well, all of these Auburn alumni I'm about to talk about all started off as freshmen, just like Blake and Caleb, and now they are taking over the professional league. Starting strong with the women, DeWanna Bonner has broken yet another record, not once, but twice this past week. Last Thursday night, Bonner became the third all-time WNBA playoff scoring leader, but on Friday she moved past Candace Parker to move into second place all-time in WNBA playoff. She reached this after scoring 18 points against the Minnesota Lynx, reaching a total of 1,159 career playoff. She is only behind WNBA legend Smith Ross, who has 1,486. Bonner will be in action tonight for Game 5 of the WNBA, hoping to lead her team to Connecticut against New York. Then over in Major League Baseball, history was made this season as Auburn had the most players in the majors program with 11. Finally, as always, we have the top-performing Tigers in the NFL. Running back Tank Bigsby had a career game last week. Ran for 101 yards. His first career game rushing. Let's check out both.
Instead, they're going to keep it on the ground here. This is Bigsby. Bigsby taking on tacklers. Bigsby still going, and he bangs it in. Touchdown. Chargers. Jacksonville hoping to take that first step. Bigsby on a pitch. Bigsby first down and more. Bigsby breaking free. Tank Bigsby trying to turn out the lights on the Colts. 65-yard sprint.
Bo Nix up for Pepsi Rookie of the Week for yet another week after throwing for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Las Vegas. Sticking with the offense, its wide receiver Darius Slayton had his best game of the season so far. Slayton stepped up after rookie Malik Neighbors could not play due to an injury and yards, 8 receptions, including this touchdown from Daniel. Finally, over on Green Bay, Wooding got the sack against quarterback at Stafford. Let's check back with our Eli and Micah, who has updates.
After a season-ending injury last year, Chandler Wooten is called back up to the Panthers' active roster this year, so hopefully he can bounce back, make some magic there. Then former Auburn guard Sharif Cooper, after playing in China for a couple years, D-League for a couple years, and winning a CBA basketball championship, he is now off to Turkey, so his world tour continues. Then former #1 overall pick Casey Mize, after making the wild card roster with the Tigers, will not be kept on for the ALDS for Detroit. Then finally, Seahawks standout Derek Hall suffered a foot injury versus the Giants, had to leave that game early, and is now questionable for Thursday night football. But now, from roster fits to game day fits, let's head to Maddie with Trending Tigers.
We're going to close out tonight's show with Trending Tigers, taking a look at our top 5 NFL game day fits. I'm here with Vince Wolfram. We're going to start at number 5.
Let's do it.
Let's start with Jonathan Jones, the Patriots, coming in with this monochrome white casual fit. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's simple. You can see he's got the bling on. He's got the necklace. Add a little Starbucks in there for an extra flair. Get him going before the game. I'm all for it. Can't go wrong with the staple black beats, too. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I'd love to know that Starbucks order. We're heading into number 4 with Colby Wooden. I'm all about a little state bag.
No, I'm about it. And I think it's the shorts for me. He's got a little Joseph in the Technicolor dream coat going on with the shorts there. Bright red shoes, too. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. He's rocking it. He's got the chain, too. Colby Wooden's done.
And number 3, we've got our very own Bo Nix with the
Come on.
Broncos. I love the sporty fit going into a game. That dude.
Yeah,
This game.
he had it going on, and I know in the game they wore the throwback unis. He was just trying to set the tone. The Elway jersey, can't beat it. Can't beat it. I love Bo Nix.
Coming in at number 2, got Jamie Sherwood.
A lot going on here.
Yeah, giving some Bob Marley vibes.
No, I like the cap, the glasses to match. He's got the orange to match the orange. He's got it going on. What do you think? Ripped jeans and the orange.
Oh yeah, very much that. Coming in at number 1, we've got Hank Bigsby. I'd love to see you walk into a show with that clear.
Honestly, I was thinking about it. I was so close today to just doing my best Hank impression, walking with the umbrella, but it was 85 and sunny, so I decided. But I did also think about wearing the jorts. Thought about going that route. Didn't. I figured I'd leave that one up.
Yeah, thanks. Although I love these NFL game day fits, I think our Eagle Eye crew does it.
No, I agree. I mean, Micah and I have got the pink. Jaden's got the blue and the gold. So does Brett. We got it all going on. You're bringing it home with the white. I love it. Well, that's a wrap for our show tonight. Be sure to follow our Instagram at EagleEyeTV_sports and our Twitter at EETV_sports. I'm Vince Wolfram. Good night and War Eagle.
War Eagle.